you can't have a list of the causes of the Civil War. The Civil War just came. It probably has started in 1619, and over the course of American history, there had to be this inevitable conclusion. There was no way to end slavery in this country. I have done this lecture series for 2 years prior to this, and Jan Phillips contacted me because she knew that I had been doing it and asked me if I would do it as a fundraiser for the America's History Museum. So that's how I got involved with the museum. This is a map of what the United States looked like in 1850. Most people who lived in America at this time were united in many meaningful ways, no matter where they lived in the country. Most spoke the same language. Most Americans did speak English, although there were definitely pockets where people retained their European language, especially among the Germans. It takes 33 weeks to go through this. It's a series of 33 two-hour lectures, and I cover from pre-1607 to World War II. There were lots of things that united the country at this time, but by 1850, as throughout our entire history, from 1607 on, there were 3 distinct sections of the country. I was in a book club, and we read a book called Mayflower by Nathaniel Philbrick. And in the book, the author says, most Americans don't know anything about the first 150 years of the country's history. So all the ladies in the book club said, that's right, we don't know anything about this. And then they said, well, we don't really know much about American history, period. So one of them approached me later, and because she knew that I had taught American history, she said, would you teach us a course in American history? This myth of the large plantation is just that, it is a myth. So the South was controlled by a very small number of families. And that's why when I get to secession, the conventions that were held were controlled by this group of men. So it wasn't everyone in the South who was voting for secession. It was this 24% who wanted to protect their plantations. 76% of Southerners had no direct contact with slavery at all. So this was a very small percentage of people who owned slaves. The response has been really interesting. I mean, most people come up to me and say, I had no idea that this happened. I can't believe that I'm so unaware of American history. But I think that's true of Americans, period. We know, most Americans know very little about American history. Maybe in high school you learned the presidents and some wars and things like that, but they really don't know American history. And to me, that's the reason I do this. It's so gratifying to have people realize the history of their own country, and then to take that and put it into perspective with what's happening in the world today. I always make comparisons between today and the past because nothing is new. Everything that's happening today has already happened in a different context, in a different time. And that's, I think, what amazes them, is that what we're experiencing now has happened before. Seeing people whipped and beaten was just a common part of everyday life in the South. Mary Chestnut, who wrote a diary, and which is a book that you can buy today. It's one of the best pictures into Southern life, wrote that her father-in-law lorded it over the plantation like the Tsar of Russia.